Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World Daily with me, John Jordan. So news we're looking at today is Axie Infinity, and it's about sort of some more banning. So actually, it's interesting when we talk about blockchain games. People talk about things like censorship resistance and all this sort of stuff. You know, they can't take your assets away from you, which is true in most cases. But also we see, that kind of running a big popular sort of game like Blankos is now over 1.5 million DAUs on the off-chain side of it. These are quite complicated situations, and particularly now with blockchain games, we have financial value involved in it, which we've never really had before in games. These things are hard to manage, and I kind of think every project will find its balance between decentralization and centralization. And in the case of Axie, obviously the assets are held on a blockchain, the Rhodium blockchain, and they that's sort of decentralized, and no one, if you have a Blanco in your wallet, no one can take that away from you. But what Axie, that's Freudian. So Axie can't take away the developers of Axie can't take away the fact you've got an NFT. What they can do is limit your ability to use that in the game, because the game is running on centralized servers. Because that's just sort of how sort of it's easy in terms of the user experience, and you do need to change things to make a game fun over time. So they're running. So Axie is one of these sort of typical games which I call games using the blockchain rather than blockchain games where everything's on chain. Not everything's on chain in Axie. So what they've done here, we've had it in the past where Axies have been banned, and this means the NFTs are still on the blockchain clearly, but they can't be used in the game. And obviously the point of Axie is people are using these NFTs to earn the tokens, the SLP token. So what they're saying here, I won't go into too much detail around this, but basically there is an energy system which sort of caps how much activity you can do in the game, and that basically caps how much of this smooth love potion you can earn, which is what people are selling out. So obviously Axie are keep an eye on how much of that is being created, because if too much is created, then obviously it drives the value down because everyone's selling it off. So they need to be sort of careful around this sort of thing. And the terms and conditions here are probably a bit hard to read, but it says you can only play on one account in any 24-hour period. As an Axie owner, you are responsible for the actions of any scholars hired by you that play on your behalf, and their actions can have consequences for any connected accounts you own. You will not manipulate the energy system, such as gifting Axies to make use of more energy. This goes under multi-accounting. So we can see here, that there are terms and conditions of this game. Just because it's on the blockchain doesn't mean you can do what you want. And now, so 30,000 of these Axies have been banned. Normally that means they are banned from the game for a certain period of time. So if you look on the Axie marketplace, they'll sort of have a cross through them, and it will say this Axie is banned from playing the game for normally it's about a year, so 365 days, and obviously that counts down every day. Interesting thing, because there's always kind of reactions around this sort of stuff. So some of the people who had their Axies were going to have their Axies banned, quickly sold theirs cheaply, which meant that obviously some people bought low value, bought Axies at a low price, and suddenly they got banned for not something that they'd ddone. So they're saying these Axies will get unbanned. So clearly it's on a blockchain. You can kind of see what's happened. That Axie Infinity has in the past banned accounts, and clearly will do so. And obviously what they're trying to do is they're trying to stop people extracting value from the system in a extractive manner. That's not how Axie is designed to be played. Obviously some players will really some players will hate this kind of stuff. Some people who are trying to make as much money as possible will hate this sort of thing. And clearly I would say probably they haven't found all the people who are abusing the system. There's always this sort of kind of constant battle between people who want to sort of do things that aren't allowed because it gives them an advantage, and the sort of gatekeepers, whoever they are, to try and stop that. But I think it is interesting that you kind of see, certainly as Axie's got more popular and become more valuable, then obviously they have to spend more time looking at this sort of stuff, and it's just the way of the world, even in the blockchain game space. Obviously you could design a blockchain game where everything is on chain, and then you can't really have then you don't have that ability to ban things, but then clearly then you have to design a game in such a way that you are allowing people to use bots or whatever sort of things they would want to do, and then you can design projects around that. But we've seen in the past very quickly those sort of projects sort of fail, because basically the bots, if if it's worth you putting lots of bots into a system to extract value, then you'll do that. And that generally doesn't make things very interesting for human players. So it is one of those things. We may wish in future that it won't be there, but I think in the short term at least, we'll always have to have these sort of systems, these sort of rules and conditions. And really, that matters much more in blockchain games than in other games, because there is this ability to extract value from the system, or create value, however you want to say it. So anyway, I thought it was interesting. Please subscribe to the channel. So we're all about blockchain games and seeing what's going on, and seeing, as I say, this is a sort of a new way of gaming. So there's no right or wrong. Each developer will sort of take a different decision on how they want to deal with this stuff. But yeah, it's kind of, it's good. For me, it's good to see that the Axie Infinity team are sort of as best as they can on top of this sort of situation, because that makes it fair for everyone. Okay, thanks for watching. See you again soon.